But hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back. Welcome back. It's the first of the year, June. I'm sure it's some kind of Roman god. I think it's the Roman god of time. No coincidence that the new year is at the beginning of this time cycle of the god June. Anywho, your forces and how to use them. We're almost done. We're almost done. You guys stoked? It's been a while. I saw an online audiobook for this, and it's 7.5 hours long. Um, and longer than any audiobook I've ever done. By far. And we're just setting them up and knocking them down. Welcome back. Everyone take your shoes off, stay a while. I got some tea, I'm drinking some elderberry, frankincense, and then a Warrior's Herbal Blend for detox, and some Shilajit. But I've got quite the concoction going on this time. So feel free to, do what you gotta do to get ready for the live. We'll wait a minute or two just so we can give people a chance to come in. If you're watching this after the live, feel free to skip ahead around, I don't know, what do you say, 4 or 5 minutes, we'll start. Otherwise, just hang out. Let me do some backdoor stuff. Thank you for being here. Smiley face. Man of letters. Cool. You guys, did you have a good evening? Did you have a good everything? All the things that you wanted to do. Dream State, what up? Happy 2021. Glad to see you made it here on the other side. Unless this is the place that didn't evolve into the next dimension. They say it's funner in hell anyways, right? Nice. Dream State, what kind of tea you drinking? Also, shout out to the camera. You guys noticed the cam? We got a new cam. We're running that 1080 HD life on the webcam. What? Yeah, killing it. Nice. Let me know if the music's too loud or too low. Didn't have time to get the levels set before we started, so any feedback from you guys is welcome. Everyone slap that like button for me to get the algorithm up. For those of you just jumping in, welcome. How's it going, you guys? We're going to read a book. It's called Your Forces and How to Use Them. It's a brilliant book. It's one of my favorite books, period, in the spiritual world. It was written in 1911 by, I can't remember the gentleman's name, Larson, I believe. Christian Larson. And it's just a tasty, well done piece of work. Spirituality based. It basically takes everything New Age and works it out. Fills in all the gaps, right? Fills in a lot of the half-truths, the uselessness, the baggage. We've been enjoying it. I've been enjoying reading it too. It's been fun. Phoenix, hello. Matcha? Matcha this late? It's got caffeine in it, right? I like your style. I actually enjoy drinking coffee more in the evening than I do in the mornings. So, nice. Michael, how's it going, Michael? Ginger with match. And lemon. Dude, that's nice. Nice. I wanted to send you some teas from my job called Kikoko. It's a cannabis-infused herbal tea with THC and CBD. Did you plan that out? Super interested, Sochi. Please, by all means, send away. Send away. I'll even, if it's your company, shoot me a link. I'll even give you a nice little proper shout out for the channel. Maybe we can get you some sales. Would love that. Then we could, maybe the whole squad could have it, and then we can all drink it together during the readings. All right, should we start now, though, you guys? Are we good? Should we crank it? The music's good. You guys haven't complained about the music, so I take it that's fine. Audio seems good. Our visuals seem good. Nice. It's the camera's coming in so much tastier than it was before. That makes me really happy. Nice. Okay, we have 9 viewers in the room. We got the God number. Yes. Blackberry tea over there, Slimy. I don't think I've ever had. We have a blackberry bush and it pumps every year, relentlessly. But I've never made tea out of it. I'm gonna have to give that a shot. All systems check. Frankie. Damn, that's what I needed. That's the instillment of confidence that I needed from you guys right there. That was it. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. That being said, let us begin. Ladies and gents, boys and girls, you hear another audiobook reading live and direct. We got the candles going, we got the tea going, we got the oregano going. It's a good evening. We're reading Your Forces and How to Use Them by Christian Larson. Written in, I believe, 1911. At the churn of a spiritual century. At the beginning of a spiritual century. So, take notes. Or if not, take notes, just listen and let it sink in. Because it's good. I'm really enjoying it. We're on chapter 12. It's called The Development of the Will. Development of the Will. Let us begin. One sec. Make sure I didn't actually. Sometimes I read 2 chapters in a night and I don't remember if I made note of it or not. Yeah, bummer, I think. Messed up. We're actually on chapter 13. I'm gonna have to fix that in the title. Part 9, chapter 13. Fine. All right. Much better. Much better. Ooh. Oh, now Richie texts me. Got it, Richie. All right, we're beginning. It's actually chapter 3. Here we go. The building of a great mind. He who would become great must live in a great life. Happiness adds life, power, and worth to all your talents and powers. It is most important, therefore, that every moment should be full of joy. However much you may do, always remember you have the ability to do more. No one has as yet applied all the ability in their possession, but all of us should learn to apply a greater measure every year. Oh, what a perfect chapter to start the beginning of the year. While you are waiting for an opportunity to improve your time and prove yourself, the man or woman who never weakens when things are against them will grow stronger and stronger until they will have the power to cause all things to be for them. There's one thing I also wanted to remind you guys. This guy's writing style, he tends to open his concepts really abstract and super poetic and almost like I feel like he's showing off most of the time. He does it well. I appreciate it. Point being, If you find yourself confused or like, what the fuck did you just say? He repeats the same concept throughout the entire chapter. He just simplifies it and reels it in and reels it in, which is a beautiful style of writing. I really love it. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Try not to like latch on to things as hard as you can. You know what I mean? So where you're like getting frustrating. I know that can be a frustrating part of reading. Anywho, here we go. A great mind does not come from ancestors, but from the life, the thoughts, and the actions of the individual. And such a mind can be constructed by anyone who understands the art of mind building and who faithfully applies this art. You may have a small mind today, and your ancestors from many generations back may have been insignificant in mental power. Nevertheless, you may become even exceptional in mental capacity and brilliancy if you proceed to build your mind according to the principles of exact science. And those principles, anyone can apply. There are two obstacles, however, that must be removed before this building process can begin, and the first one of these is the current belief in heredity. That we inherit things is true, but the belief that we cannot become any larger or any better than our inheritance is not true. As long as a person believes that greatness is not possible to them because there were no great minds among their ancestors, they are holding themselves down and cannot become any more than they subconsciously think they can. While, on the other hand, the person who expects to become much because they had remarkable grandfathers is liable to be disappointed because they depend too much upon their illustrious forefathers and not enough upon themselves. Blood will tell when combined with ambition, energy, and enterprise, but the very best of blood will prove worthless in the life of one who expects ancestral greatness to carry them through. When we have received good things, we must turn them to good account, or nothing is gained. Our success will not come from the acts of our forefathers, but can come alone from what we are doing now. Those who have inherited rich blood can use that richness in building greatness in themselves. But those who have not the privilege of such inheritance need not be discouraged. They can create their own rich blood and make it as rich as they like. Whether you're I would like to interject something there, actually. There's something to be said about someone who has to work for greatness instead of being given greatness halfway there. It's sweet. The Kabbalion says it best. It says, the beggar will never understand the joys of having any food within their reach all over the world at the snap of a finger. The beggar will never understand that sort of satisfaction. But the rich man will never understand the hunger and the subsequent satiation of that hunger. Yeah. I sometimes think that that's why I can speak for myself, that I might make things low-key more difficult than they have to be, because it's like, I don't necessarily want shit to come easy. I tend to get bored with things. I tend to get bored, and I like challenges and difficulties, and I like the opportunity of overcoming things. At the same time, like, I'm not a fool. I'll take help when I can, and there are some things that I have to learn how to ask for. I can manifest them faster, I guess that's sort of the give and take of that situation, is that I'm stronger for it, but it also makes it difficult for me to ask for help and, admit when I need help. Shit like that. Light and dark side. I digress. My point being that some of you guys are gifted, man. Like, let's be real. Some of you guys are gifted and you're just fucking child prodigies. And some of us have to work for it. But realistically, most of us fall somewhere in between, where we are blessed with some things and we have the opportunity to cultivate those things that we're blessed at. And a lot of times that thing matches up with something we really want to do in life. And then you're fucking set. So, we'll carry on. Whether your forefathers were great or small matters not. Do not think of that subject, but live in the conviction that you may become what you wish to become, by using well the good you have received, and by creating those essentials that you did not receive. If you have inherited undesirable traits, remember that evil is but valuable power misdirected. Learn to properly direct all your forces, and your undesirable traits will be transformed into elements of growth, progress, and advancement. Whether you're we all have met men and women with remarkable talents who persisted in thinking that they would never amount to anything because there was no genius among their ancestors. But if there had been a genius in the family sometime during past generations, the question would be where that genius actually received their genius. If we all have to get greatness from ancestors, where did the first great ancestor get their greatness? There must be a beginning somewhere to every individual attainment, and that beginning might just well as be us now. What others could originate in their time, we can originate in our time. The belief that we must inherit greatness from someone in order to attain greatness is without any scientific foundation whatever. And yet there are thousands of most promising minds that remain small, simply because they entertain this belief. To believe that heredity is against you and that you therefore will not accomplish anything worthwhile is to make your work a wearing process instead of a building process. To consequence, you will not advance and you will constantly remain in the rear. But the moment you realize that it is in your power to become as much as you may desire, your work and study will begin to promote your own growth and advancement. When you live, think, and act in the belief that you can become much, whatever you do will cause you to become more. Thus, all your actions will develop power and ability, and living itself will become a building process. That man may become great regardless of the fact that there were no great minds among his ancestors, provided there are indications of exceptional ability in the man himself. But they entertain no hope if they see nothing in the man himself. And here we have the second obstacle to building of a great mind. This obstacle, however, must be removed in every mind that aims to rise above the ordinary, because the belief that the average person has nothing in them is the cause of fully 3/4 of the mental inferiority we find in the world. But the new psychology has conclusively demonstrated the fact that man or woman who has nothing in them does not exist. All minds have the same possibilities, though most of those possibilities may be dormant in the minds of the majority. The difference between a great mind and a small mind is simply this: that in the former, the greater possibilities have come forth into objective action, while in the latter, those possibilities are still in subjective inaction. When we say that a man has nothing in them, we are contradicting the very principle of existence. Because to be a man must have just as much in him as any other man. What is in him may not be in action, and his mentality may appear to be small, but the possibilities of greatness are there. There is a genius somewhere in his mind, because there is a genius in every mind, though in most minds that genius may as yet be asleep. When every child is taught the great truth that it has unlimited possibilities within its own subconscious mind, and that it can, through the scientific development of those possibilities, become practically what it may desire to become, we shall have laid the foundation for the greatest race of people that the ages have ever known. But we need not wait for future generations to demonstrate the possibilities of this truth. Every mind that begins to apply the principle of this truth now may begin to enlarge their own mind now, and they may continue this process of enlargement indefinitely. I feel like the music just got epic. Let me know if it's too loud. Okay, let me know if it's too loud. When we have removed the two obstacles mentioned and have established ourselves in the conviction that we have unlimited possibilities within us, more than sufficient to become whatever we may desire, we are ready to proceed with the building of a great mind. To promote the building of a great mind, the two prime essentials, scope and brilliancy, must be constantly kept in the foreground of consciousness. The mind that is not brilliant is of little value, even though its scope may be very large. Likewise, the mind that is narrow or circumscribed is extremely limited, however brilliant it may be. A great mind is both in capacity and ability. It can see practically everything and see through practically everything. To see everything is to have remarkable scope. To see through everything is to have exceptional brilliancy. To give scope to the mind, every action of mind must be trained to move toward that which is greater than all persons or things. Those feelings or desires that cause the mind to become absorbed in some one thing or group of things will limit the mental scope. Therefore, in love, sympathy, and purpose, the sphere of action must be universal. When we live only with the love that centers attention upon a limited number of persons, one of the greatest actions of mind will work in a limited world. When our sympathies go only to a chosen few, the same thing occurs. And when our purpose in life has a personified goal, we keep the mind within the limitations of that personification. To give universality to our feelings and actions may require considerable training of the mental tendencies, but it is absolutely necessary if we will develop a great mind. It is only those mental forces that move towards the verge of the limitless in every direction that can cause the mind to transcend limitations. Therefore, all the forces of the mind should be given this transcending tendency. To develop mental scope, consciousness must move in every direction, and it must move along right lines so that no obstacle may be met during that continuous expansive process. Such obstacles, however, are always produced by limitations of thought. Therefore, they may be avoided when all the actions of mind are placed upon a universal scale. In the mental actions of love, we find many forces, all of which are true in their own places, but all of these forces must be exercised universally. That is, they must act upon a scale that is without bounds in the field of your own consciousness. The mind must go in every direction as far as it can possibly go in that direction, and must act in the conviction that wherever it may go, it can go farther still. The understanding must know there is no obstacle where the mind may seem to cease in its onward action, and that the mind is forever growing, thereby going as far each day as that day's development requires. When this idea is applied to a personal love between man and woman, the feeling of love must be based upon the principle that those two souls have the power to love each other more and more indefinitely, that the larger the love becomes, the more lovable will the objects of that love become, and that the consciousness of perfect unity and pure affection increases constantly as the two souls become more and more individualized in their own sublime nature. That was The sweetest thing ever. It is possible to make conjugal love. What's conjugal mean? Hold on, I gotta look this up. Relating to marriage or the relationship of a married couple. Conjugal. Conjugality? Conjugally? Early 16th century, from Latin conjugales, from conjux, spouse. Con, together, and jugum, a yoke. Spouse yoke together. That's kind of cool. Sorry, it's always good to look up words that you don't understand when you come across them. It's a good habit to be in, to get in. It is possible to make conjugal love universal and continuous between one man and one woman when the love of each other is directed toward the sublime nature of the other. Through this law, each individual develops through the consciousness of the law. Through this law, each individual develops through the consciousness of the largeness of the real nature of the other. And the more the two love each other in this universal sense, the more they will see in each other to love. In addition, the minds of both will constantly enlarge in scope. Because when love acts upon this larger scale, the whole mind will act upon this larger scale, as there is no stronger power in mind than love. The love between parent and child, in like manner, can be made universal. In this attitude, the parent will love all of the child, not only the visible person, but the undreamed of wonders that are waiting in that child mind for expression. The child already loves the parent in this larger sense, and this is one reason why the child mind lives so much nearer to the limitless, the universal, the ideal, and the beautiful. When the parent will do likewise, there will arise between the two a love that sees more and more to love. More love loves in this larger, sublime sense. The idea is not only to love the tangible, but also that other something that transcends the tangible. The something that appears to the soul in visions and predicts wonders yet to be. That such a love will expand and enlarge the mind anyone can understand. Because practically all the elements of the mind will tend to follow the actions of the love nature, when that nature is exceptionally strong. But we must not imagine that we shall, through this method, love the person less. The fact is, we shall love the person infinitely more, because we shall discern more and more clearly that the person is the visible side of that something in human life that we can only describe as the soul beautiful. That something that alone can satisfy the secret longings of the heart. I'm going to pause right there and check out the chat room because my throat's getting... Yeah, Dream State, the songs have been holding it down, huh? Dope. Alright, cool. Let me just... Thanks, Richie. Butterfly, Orchid Star, thank you. Appreciate it. Glad you guys are enjoying it. Everyone slap that like button for me so you can break the YouTube algorithm. Okay, we shall continue. The love of everything can, through the same law, become universal. Even friendship, which is always supposed to be confined to a small world, may become universal and limitless in the same way. And when it does, you will see more to admire in your friends every day. You will both have entered the boundless in your admiration for each other, and having entered the boundless, you will daily manifest new things from the boundless, and thus become delightfully surprised at each other constantly. The same may be employed in making sympathy universal. That is, never sympathize with the lesser, but always sympathize with the greater. The lesser is combined in the greater, and by sympathizing with the greater, the mind becomes greater. In the fields of motives, objects, aims, and purposes, we find that nearly every mental action is occupying a limited scope, and is acting in such a manner that its own limitations are being perpetuated. This tendency, however, must be removed if a greater mind is to be constructed, because every action of the mind must aim to change itself into a larger action. To cause every aim or purpose to become universal in its action, the mind must transcend shape, form, space, distance, in its consciousness of everything that it may undertake to do. When we confine our thought to so far or so much, we place the mind in a state of limitations. But when we promote every object with a desire to go as far as the largest conception of the present may require, and proceed to attain as much present capacity can possibly appropriate, we are turning all purposes and all aims out upon the boundless sea of attainment. And we shall not accomplish all that is possible in our present state of development, but we will at the same time constantly enlarge the scope of the mind. It is absolutely necessary to have a fixed goal, whatever our purpose in life may be, but we must never give special shape or size to that goal. I'm going to stop right there, and I'm going to say something, at least to myself, out loud. I'm going to read that sentence again. It says, it is absolutely necessary to have a fixed goal, whatever our purpose in life may be, but we must never give special shape or size to that goal. This is, my God, one of the most delightful ways of describing law of attraction, if you will. That criticism I always give on go with the flow, always go with the flow, you gotta go with the flow. Just go with the flow, man, always flowing. And I hate on that. So I always say you gotta create the flow. You have to know what the flow is, or go in one that you know what it is, and then let go. Like, you don't want to just be flowing down any old stream. I'd rather be flowing down a nice proper stream, not Schitt's Creek without a paddle, which is also a kind of stream, right? It's overly feminized, that completely go with the flow. There's no balance to it. In this last sentence, it says it is absolutely necessary to have a fixed goal, whatever our purpose in life may be. That's the masculine aspect, the non-moving, the firm, not just a fucking fixed. And then the flowy part, right? The feminine side is that we must not give special shape or size to that goal. Right? We don't want to give it too much definition, too much masculine, because we need that feminine grace, baby. We need that ability to transform along the way, to adjust, to adapt, to change, to welcome things with open arms, and bend like the tree. Right? A tree bends because if it didn't bend, it would snap. But it's also fixed at the same time. It can withstand a tidal wave. But all it takes is a breeze of wind, and the branches bend. You know what I mean? That's the blend of masculine and feminine that we're going for. I'm so glad you said that, man. That's what I mean about this text. I enjoy it because it's very balanced. It's a very balanced presentation of our favorite material. So carrying on, we must think of our goal as being too large to be measured, even in the imagination. When we have a goal in mind that is only so and so large, all the creative energies of the mind will limit themselves accordingly. They will create only so and so much, regardless of the fact that they may be able to create many times as much. But when we think of our goal as being too large to be measured, the creative energies will expand to full capacity and will proceed to work for the largest attainment possible. They will act constantly on the verge of the limitless and will cause the mind to outdo itself every day. Sorry, I guess, all right. Another footnote. He said this 1,000 times throughout this book, and I want to bring it to your guys' attention if you haven't paid attention yet. He uses the word train all the time. Train the mind. He never says it is, like it is that. Just let it be. It is. Like it is. But there's something about the quality of this dimension, or how we've been raised, or our thoughts, or our paradigms of reality, that makes it so we have to train ourselves. You guys, we gotta do the work, and it's not something that's gonna come. You're not gonna astral project overnight. You're not gonna lucid dream overnight. Again, you could be the one out of 100 who can. Like, you guys exist. I'm not doubting that. But for the majority of us, it's training. Thank God the mind can be trained, because if the mind couldn't be trained, then it would be fixed, and if it was fixed, there would be no growth, because growth is change, and in ad infinitum. So give yourselves a chance, is what I'm getting at. For the love of Christ, give yourselves a chance. Stay with it. The meditations, the thought programs you're doing, whatever, your freaking rituals, you're bathing naked under the moonlight, do whatever you gotta do, boo-boo, and do it, and be diligent about it, because it takes a while, brother and sister, for the brain to change and reorganize itself. But the beauty of it is that we know how to train things. Training is scientific. Like, it's just training anything, period, is as simple as opening a book and following steps 1 through 6 and doing it daily. Going through the actions are the difficult part, but the knowledge to get there, you guys, is right in front of our fucking eyes. It's here. It's here. It's always been here. We just gotta just do it. Nike, you're welcome for the free. You're welcome for the free marketing and promo, Nike. You're welcome. You're welcome. Anywho, in the field of desire, the same law should be applied, and applied constantly, as there are no actions in the mind that exercise a greater influence over the destiny of man than that of desire. When desire is low or perverted, everything goes down or goes wrong. But when desire changes for the better, practically everything else in the human system changes to correspond. Aha, correspondence. To train desire to become universal in action, every individual desire should be changed so as to set only for the promotion of growth. Those desires which, when fulfilled, do not make for the enlargement of life are detrimental. The power of all such desires, therefore, must be changed in their course. Your object is to become more and achieve more, and to constantly promote that object. Development and growth must be perpetual throughout your system. For this reason, every action must have growth for its purpose, and every action is the result of some desire. No desire must be permitted that is not conducive to growth. I'm going to read that one again. No. For those of you in the back, no desire must be permitted that is not conducive to growth. Say that one more time for those of you that were texting or taking a rip. That's cool. Hey, take a rip if you got it. I get it. You got to re-up. I'll read it one more time for you guys. I got you, fam. Help me help you. No desire must be permitted that is not conducive to growth. It is not necessary, however, to remove a single desire from the human system to bring about this change, because every desire can be trained to promote the building of a greater life. When every desire is caused to move towards the larger and the greater through the mind's irresistible desire for the larger and the greater, all the creative forces of the mind will move towards the same goal and will constantly build a greater mind. I'm going to copy and paste that paragraph. I think there's a really good, for any of you guys trying to develop any sort of program. That last paragraph is fucking gold, man. Oh my god, so much fun stuff you can do with that. Carrying on, the principle is this: that when all the actions of mind are trained to move towards the longer, they will perpetually enlarge. The first essential to the building of a great mind will thereby be promoted. To promote to the second essential, mental brilliancy, the actions of mind must be made as high and as fine as possible. That is, the vibrations of the mental life must be in the highest scale attainable. To see through everything, the mind will require the very finest rays of mental light. And as this mental light is produced by the vibrations of the actions of mind, these actions should be as high in the scale as we can possibly reach at every stage of our mental ability. The light of intelligence is created by the mind itself. And the more brilliant this light becomes, the greater will become the powers of intelligence, discernment, insight, understanding, ability, talent, and genius. And the power of mind to create a more brilliant mind increases as the mind places itself more and more in the consciousness of the absolute light of the universal intelligence. The all. To cause the mind to become more brilliant, all the tendencies of mind should fix their attention upon the highest mental conception of mental brilliancy. Every expression of the mind should be animated with a refining tendency. Oh, that was a cool sentence. I'm going to read that one again. Every expression of the mind should be animated with refining tendency. So I got to write that one down too. I'm going to write an epic-ass speech after this chapter and send it to you guys. It's going to be super dope. Every force of the mind should rise towards the absoluteness of mental light. Those states of mind that tend to magnify the inferior must be eliminated, and this is accomplished by thinking only of the superior that is possible in all things. All mental actions that are critical, depressing, or depreciative must be replaced by their constructive opposites, as every action of the mind must concentrate its attention upon the largest and the best in all fields of consciousness. The mind must be kept high in every respect, because the higher in the mental scale, the more brilliant will become the mental light. To increase the rapidity of the vibrations in these higher mental states, creative energy must be supplied in abundance. And to comply with this requirement, all that is necessary is to retain in the human system all the energy that is already created. The human system creates and generates an enormous amount of creative energy every single day. Therefore, when all this energy is retained and transmuted into finer mental elements, the mind will be abundantly supplied with those finer energies that can increase both the power and the brilliancy of thought and mind. The mind that is animated with a strong desire to constantly refine itself, and that is thoroughly charged with creative energy, will always be brilliant, and will become more and more brilliant as the laws given above are faithfully and thoroughly applied. Wow, potentially trigger seizures and shit. That was weird. So, squad, how you guys doing out there? How you guys, you enjoying yourselves? Good Friday. We got 29 people. This might be some of the highest numbers we've gotten for a live reading. Usually it stays kind of cozy. It stays cozy for the live readings. Glad to see that we have some squad members coming in, checking out the old. Oh, look at you guys, trying to listen to some storytelling and shit. Look at you guys. Look what the cat dragged in. Come in, take your shoes off, stay a while. Mi casa es su casa. Mi casa es su casa. That was Your Forces and How to Use Them by Christian Larson, written in 1911. Super dope. Really enjoying this book. Really enjoying this book. Jordan, I'm seeing lots of red over there. What up? Give me a second, you guys, so I can catch up to your comments. All those of you joining in right now, we just finished. I'm so sorry, man. It was dope too. It was a good one. You guys missed it. I'm sad. I'm sad you guys missed it. You can go to the beginning and watch it though. It was a good one, I promise. So do you make your own candles, Michael? Yes, I do make my own candles. It's kind of dark. I can't show you guys, but there's some more candles over here. They're beeswax candles, or I make them on my Etsy shop. I've got a ton of them. I don't know if you guys can see my little setup. Don't mind my messy ass desk. Bada bing, bada boom. Bada boom, bada bing. What up, what up? Let me continue reading the comments. Whoa, what did I? Yeah, Jordan Haynes, you walked into some shit. Happy. Blount, Ebony Blount, pass it. What up? We must never. Sometimes we may switch timelines to a higher calling, not to hold on to or be set on something, because if we listen to our true self, something better will always come to help all. I'm 100% okay with believing that the universe can think of way bigger and better plans than my feeble 32-year-old mind can conjure up with one lifetime of memory under my belt. Super down for it. Eden, hello! Nice to see Eden channeling your genius, as it were, wiser. Yeah, that's right. The genius is something outside of us, the Greeks used to say. Yeah, Jordan, work out, eat healthy, do the thing. Everything is becoming. What up? Fasting for a day. What up? Breath work. I just started meditating again, you guys, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm like, oh, that's right, I'm here again. I'm like, okay. The orange trees all take your shoes off, stay a while. And I just sat under the orange tree for like 15 minutes or so. Didn't take much, I hit it. Hardest part is before the start. Well said, Eden. Well said. Especially if you're a friggin' momentum-based person like Chaboy. Getting started is the hardest part. Trust me, whatever it is that you've been putting off for years, I swear to God, the most difficult thing for you to do will be to start the project. And start it well, not a half-ass start. I mean a serious 110% commitment. That decision will be the most difficult.
I know it's been a while.
As Eden says, you will gain resilience.
Haven't been the same. I definitely
less TV, less Instagram, TikTok, more falling asleep. Yeah, and if you're not going to do less of the TV and the Instagram and the TikTok, at least be mindful on what you are consuming. You know what I mean? I don't expect you guys to just like fall off the face of the earth. I'm not falling off the face of the earth, social media wise. What I have been doing is I'll scroll. Here's the thing I do. I scroll through my Instagram feed, and anytime some whack ass thing comes up or some completely irrelevant thing to my life, or even worse, something that just like this book, this last chapter was saying, if it's not adding to the growth of me or my mind or my thoughts, my emotions, then it's gone. Simple as that. Simple as that. So, I guess just be more mindful, you know, more than anything. Yeah. Printed on a t-shirt. Yeah, I wrote it down. I wrote it. Every chapter of this book, you guys, I don't know if you've been following it since we started, but every chapter of this book has just been ridden with gems. Ridden. You look tired? Probably am. I've been burning the oregano too, though. That could be where the Asian ads are coming from. Shayla! Glad you enjoyed it. Not sure if you're still here, but happy you enjoyed it, Shayla. Line myself up.
I think I have a theory. You make me lose my
I mean, I know I found it. There's an absolute angel on YouTube. I'm gonna send him the link so you guys can check him out. If any of you guys do YouTube stuff and you have trouble with good quality copyright music, and a lot of it, this link I just posted up, his name is Paponi Music, copyright free. He's got rock, chill step. We're listening to his ambient mix right now. EDM, he's got all kinds of stuff. And not only is it copyright free, he took the ads off. So there's no ads in his videos. He even took the ads off in the beginning and the outro of his videos. So there's not even ads in between his videos. This guy is, like I said, or girl, this human is the real MVP. Is a god or goddess among men and women. So go check him out. He's really upped my live streaming game. Before I started this video, I was like, oh my god, I'm probably gonna jump on this guy's Patreon. I would happily. What the fuck was I trying to say? I would happily drop this dude Patreon money for what he's doing. And it's only 9 here. So you're on the East Coast? You're on the East Coast, brother? Dream State says, think into the heart space in meditation. Observe, not judge thoughts. Let them flow away like a lily pad on a river until they aren't there anymore. Then bring truth into awareness. True self, divine self. Nice. Goddess I am, what up? Thank you too, Phoenix. Appreciate it. Thank you kindly. Happily, I don't know what the hell I was thinking. South Carolina, what up, South Carolina? I forgot what I was gonna say. Yeah. Of course, Ebony. Go support, like his videos, and share them. Pay it for it. You guys have anything to say? Should we call it? It's 9. It's a Friday. It's not like I had anything else to do. It's not like I got anything else to do. You know what I would love to do? I'd like to go for a walk downtown. Through all the bars, all the clubs, all the merrymaking, and the people stumbling drunkily down the street, laughing, merrymaking, having a good time and shit. It's my favorite thing to do. I would walk from home, because only like a 10-15 minute walk downtown, and I'd have a bar, or I'd have a beer, and then I'd just put my headphones in and I would just walk. I wouldn't necessarily be I wouldn't be partying, I wouldn't be dancing, I wouldn't be like clubbing on a Friday night. I would just be walking through the lights and the energy of the commotion of the merrymaking. And it was so nice. I had my jams in my ears, and everyone's like, what the hell is that guy doing? Like, we're all partying and he's just like walking through. But it's dope. It was like that's how homey it felt, the town felt. That it was just my home. It was just casual to walk in and have a beer anywhere. Like, yo, what up? Yo, Davey, what up? See you later, man, I'm out. And then just walk home. But no, y'all letting the reptilians win, and the world is shut down because of Schmovid. No, we're all about to get spoked in the spear end with a Spiedel, a mandatory Spiedel for the Schmactionation, or Schmovid, if we want to go downtown or go to school or buy concert tickets. You guys hear that you're gonna have to have your papers to buy concert tickets from, I think it's StubHub. They're only selling tickets to people who have been with the, you know what I mean? I don't want to say the words, because you know what happens when you say the words. We get the friggin' things that happen. So we're not going to say them. But you guys follow. I hope you follow. Ask your neighbor. If you don't follow, ask your neighbor. Take it easy, Jordan. Thanks for hanging, brother. We'll see you next time. Cool. With that being said, Shayla, we'll see ya. We'll see you guys. Ebony, Michael, Prasanna. A new follower from India, Prasanna Datta. I am happy that you're here from India. Yeah. Take your shoes off. Take your shoes off, Prasanna. Stay a while. Make yourself comfy and at home. We've got some pumpkin ale on the rack. We've got some rum. We've got some black frankincense spiced rum. We have what else we have? We have tea. We have a bunch of different kinds of tea. It just whatever you got to do, man. Whatever you got to do. Cool. All right, Eden, Phoenix. All right, you guys. I'm out. Thank you. Love you guys. Peace out.